Okay, hello and welcome to the Codec Moments Thought Shower. It's me, Andy Brown, and Matt Holt.
Hello.
Here to talk about the new Hitman game, which looks awesome. I'm just going to put it out there right now. Has he not got like a Fitbit type thing? He's clearly taking his health seriously, and he's trying to get his 10,000 steps done.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
I think he is. Now, doing it in the cold climate, that's some commitment. To,
I think that's probably going to be an integral part of the game.
Yeah, I've always needed a fitness simulator on PS4 or PC or Xbox One. I hope there's a great companion app actually that releases on Android and Apple, where you can use your own Fitbit monitor to make Agent 47 bulk up and be a fitter assassin.
Do you know what though? In all seriousness, an Apple Watch app that would measure your heartbeat and actually kind of have an effect on the screen shake for your sniper rifle scope. How good would that be?
That would be good. But we do need to pull this back into actually what we were going to talk about, which was the new Hitman game, and not off on a tangent about strange fitness-related options of Agent 47. Anyway, no, back to it. Yes.
Okay, so Hitman. We got together this weekend and we played. Is it fair to say a lot of Blood Money?
Yes.
The idea was we were going to get together and play all of the legacy games that were available on the PlayStation 3 that we have here. We were going to play Silent Assassin.
We're going to follow that up with Contracts.
We were going to play a little bit of Blood Money.
And then on to a totally underrated game, but Absolution is a great game.
We didn't do that.
No.
The only part of that we did was Blood Money.
Because we realised how much we love Blood Money.
Yeah.
After spending 5 minutes with it.
Yeah. 3 o'clock in the morning, I think we finished. So why did we spend so long playing Blood Money?
I think it's just down to the structure. The structure that allows you to do what you want. Touched on it and mentioned Absolution after this. We probably won't talk about it much again. It's a great game, it looks beautiful, but it's not true Hitman because you were forced very much down a route approach with nearly every level.
I always felt, and this is why I love Blood Money and Contracts as well, but it was the freedom. I felt like I was a cold-blooded killer. I felt tense as I was sat there in plain sight, waiting for an opportunity to kill someone. I felt the tension. And I didn't get that feeling. There were 1 or 2 levels with Absolution where you got that blend.
Yeah.
But actually, the majority of the game was pretty much a third-person corridor, action melee type thing.
Yeah, I think that the best example of that was the one in the cornfield, where you're attacked by the very controversial nuns.
The sexy killer nuns.
Yeah, but wait, that's a brilliant idea for an open level to take down everybody in the cornfield. But unfortunately, it's just a mass shootout where all you're doing is avoiding people with big guns, which it's not the game that we're wanting. That hiding in plain sight, taking out the target by whatever means you can get your hands on, and because of that, it wasn't a true Hitman game, and that's why we went back to Blood Money.
Started so promisingly though. I mean, the first level, which was the introduction, actually when it opens up at the end and you have free reign to kind of take on the guards before you go through and find your actual target, that was good. And then followed up with that mission that you do for Birdie.
That one in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah.
But the rest of the game just didn't quite live up to it.
Funneled you along and pushed you on at a pace.
Yeah.
Don't miss it out as a game. It is brilliant. It's not Hitman.
No. So hence we played Blood Money for several hours last night. And what are we looking for to quench our thirst for a murder simulator? Sorry, an assassination simulator. I say murder simulator because if you saw some of our playthrough attempts last night, it got pretty horrific.
Yeah, Psychopath was the most common rating, was it?
I think
Deranged Slayer Sorry, deranged Slayer. That's what we ended up with a lot of the time.
There are two standout moments. One was when you butchered several people with a knife. And
That was an
then
accident.
casually walked out of the room.
That was after I'd accidentally got the dog with the knife.
And the other one was when you... Is massacred fair?
At the wedding.
At the wedding. When you massacred many people. Yeah.
Yeah, it was brutal, horrific, and even I don't want to revisit that one.
Yeah. The best part was you killed all these people, and then you calmly walked through the room, and nobody seemed to realise what you'd done.
I nearly got away with it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for those damn pesky kids. But that epitomises what we were trying to get to when we were looking back at Blood Money. Is you hit your level, you decide what you're taking in with you to begin with.
Yeah.
You choose your weapons, you choose your equipment, upgrade where you want, and then you go in to what is, in every instance, a fairly open map to watch and wait and learn.
It's the ultimate, to this day, I think Blood Money is the ultimate trial and error game, because you, like you're saying about picking your loadout, I remember the first time I played it through, I think I took every weapon I could into a level and then just toyed around with what worked and what didn't. And I think it's only, I mean, I've owned the game on 3 different platforms. So I've had it on PS2, the 360, and on the PS3 when it came out there.
Yeah.
Because I've loved it so much, I've always had to have a copy of it. God, if they bring out another version on the PS4, you know I would.
I would. I'd buy it again.
You own 2 copies on the PS2.
Yes, I wore out 1 copy and I had to buy a replacement.
But it's that ultimate sandbox. There's so much to do and so many ways to play. And it's about, okay, so if I take this guy's outfit, where can I go? Testing the boundaries.
What can I get away with?
Yeah.
Where can I walk carrying this big rifle case? Do I need to take a big rifle case? Actually, can I enter this area with nothing at all? And
why won't the Secret Service let me in?
It's usually a good one. Why is that alarm going off and people are pointing guns at me?
Why is Tuvok looking suspicious?
Thanks.
It's a patient game. One of the things we'd actually intended to do with this podcast was play the game straight, record exactly what we were doing, talk through it as we were going along, then chuck it up onto YouTube. And what we discovered last night, and actually then reviewing the footage, is that we spend too long playing. There's not actually much talking because we're too busy watching what's going on, just figuring out what the patterns are and deciding what approach to take. And I was supposing saving grace for you guys is you don't have to get bored watching that then.
I mean, to be honest, between us, we have clocked hundreds of hours in this game over the years.
Yeah.
11 years ago it came out, and I think we both
believe it's that long.
I think we both bought it day one.
Hi there. Craig.
11 or is it 9? Is it 2006? Yeah, we both had it day one. We've both had several copies. We've both got the HD collections. The HD collections in Absolution were reviewed on the site when they came out and clocked tens of hours on that. And it is that total, because you never play the same level twice. Take the one that we've talked about the most, A New Life. The FBI mob informant.
Vinny Sinistra.
That has to be the smallest open-ended level in any video game. In terms of space, you can run across the map in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, easily. And I have spent more time in that one level than I have probably GTA 5.
Yes, I think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
There must be a dozen different ways to complete that mission as either a silent assassin or a specialist.
Yeah.
And then dozens of others if you don't mind bloodshed.
Yeah.
Which is usually how it goes when you get spotted.
We don't mind bloodshed.
But it's the walking in, spotting the caterer, carrying the food into the house, poisoning the donut.
Well, I think this is it. We played it yesterday, and I think there were instances where we both showed each other stuff that we didn't know after all this time.
Yes, the location, the tranquilizer darts.
Yeah,
in the back of one of the garages where you've got a woman watching what you're doing, then you could just stroll into the back as long as she doesn't see you, grab your tranquilizer darts, then use them later on if you find the air rifle. There's a tree house. that you can get a shot on the garden from to take out the dog, so then you can move into the backyard unseen.
You can you can tranquilise the donuts and let the waiter take them to the FBI agents in the van.
So in the back of the van, that they then take those, you nick their outfits, steal the videotapes, all the surveillance is gone. And that's before you even get anywhere near the target. That's within 20 in-game feet of your starting point.
What I want from the next Hitman is, I don't necessarily want big levels, but I want expansive levels. I want things that lots of options, lots of opportunities, lots of different things that you can do. And if it is a big level, there has to be loads of choice, lots of movement through it. And I think the thing I like about Blood Money is there's, although it's the AI is fairly basic and it does go, people go on set patterns, they move backwards and forwards. The people feel like real people.
Yes.
So you've got even all that time ago, you've got security guards and they feel like individuals moving in an area and they'll react to things. And I think that's what I want with the modern technology. I want every AI to be an individual. Take
the You Better Watch Out level.
No.
Where you're attending the Christmas party in April.
Yeah.
For the pornographer. Which is blatantly a Hugh Hefner rip-off, isn't it? You've got many different ways of infiltrating the party. Depending what disguise you wear depends on how people react to you. There's a standard Agent 47. You've got the partygoers asking you if you've sampled the delights. Dresses the photographer to infiltrate the more secure areas. And you've got the models trying to chat you up because they want to further their careers. And as you said, whether it's 11 years ago, 9 years ago, they put that level of detail that there was contextual interaction with everybody there.
Yeah.
Including the secret assassins, which are out to kill you through the entire game. That's the first time you encounter one of those and wonder what on earth is going on as she tries and stiletto knifes you in the back of the neck. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, the way it structures it. Just the sheer number of ways of killing people. The one target, whether you're poisoning them through drink, aphrodisiacs, throwing remote mines into hot tubs and then exploding them, which we don't recommend doing in real life, and falling through the hole in the hot tub to your death, which is never a good move. It's just staggering how much you can do with a level that, by today's standards, is minuscule.
Yeah, there's just nothing to it, but so much to it.
Yeah, I mean, we've played Arkham Knight this weekend as well, and maybe 6 or 7 minutes to cross the map if you're gliding and taking your time and doing a bit of sightseeing. That's huge. There's hours and hours of gameplay in it, but still, I've played Blood Money more than I will ever put into.
Oh, I know. I'll finish Arkham Knight. Actually, I finished the storyline today.
Yeah.
But I won't be going back to it in 9 years' time.
Because there's not the option. There's not choice. There's not variation or variety in how you approach everything. In fairness, it's got quite a bit of freedom to it. Probably did a little bit of disservice to Batman there. He has got lots of gadgets and he has got detective mode.
He hasn't got like a nail gun.
No, he doesn't.
Barbecue fluid.
He doesn't have sausages. And the ability to make his own hot dogs. Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't have that openness. It doesn't have that sandbox element that we really want. And you put it perfectly. It's a murder simulator. Unfortunately, as grim as it is, that's why they're 18 rated games. And I'm surprised, barring the misogynistic controversy that it's had with the last game, I'm surprised it hasn't been brought up on the likes of GTA. And
they're all
games like it.
They're all bad people, though, aren't they? All for the greater good.
Yeah, your targets are bad people.
Yeah.
It's the innocent bystanders that you end up accidentally involving in the chaos.
I don't think you're meant to. Although I do now hark back to the poor innocent meth lab worker that I pushed into a harbour.
Yes, what he'd done to you? Nothing. He stood there enjoying a cigarette, minding his own business.
Smoking kills.
it's those moments, those absolute moments. So a big part of playing through that with somebody else last night was inventing the backstories of the innocents that we killed.
It was vaguely reminiscent of that scene in Austin Powers, where
with the bodyguard's family.
Nobody thinks about the henchman's family.
Yeah. And that's that. In fact, I don't know. It's probably not what IO actually expected anybody would do, but sit playing the game together, talking about innocent Charles and.
I think that's it. I do want
children.
I do want more of this. I want to be able to make you feel guilty when you murder a poor innocent security guard who's just doing his job, waiting to go home for a nice barbecue.
That's all we want. So we've got that. That's what we love about Blood Money. So many different options, and we love the other games as well. Silent Assassin, Contracts. Contracts has some of the best missions.
Yeah,
best mission structures in it. It's not quite as playable as Blood Money.
No, they tweaked the mechanics just right for Blood Money. Introducing the push, so you could knock people over and create accidents that way was like knocking a guard down the stairs, for example.
Yeah, pushing somebody over a balcony railing.
Yeah, doesn't count against your Silent Assassin.
It's classed as an accidental kill. It will class against your rating.
Yeah,
but it's an accidental kill rather than an investigative murder, as it were.
It doesn't count towards your notoriety.
That's it.
Biggest miss in Blood Money, the notoriety system. They built it up as being a massive thing that was going to influence your game. Actually, a quick bribe here or there. It didn't really factor into it, did it?
No, you could kill everybody in the level, and as long as there were no witnesses, you're not notorious. Which is, I suppose, fair enough. You've got no video evidence. You've got nobody who can see you. But it didn't change the way the game ended up. It did have its influences. It did make it harder to sneak into some places. There's a balance, isn't there? If you made it really difficult and you had a massive notoriety, you would never get to the end of the game.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like it was a fully integrated mechanic, which isn't a bad thing, because it would have probably ruined it. If it had been too intrusive, you'd have gone, I've got no freedom to do this. You'd have lost that freedom, your love for it. The Contracts was great, had some cracking levels, particularly the Rotterdam levels, the ones on the port, the ones with the biker gang.
Yeah, I love the submarine. And
the submarine base. Yeah, that is huge for the time.
Yeah.
A massive level at the time. Took an age to figure out what to do, but when you did figure it out, that was a nice, sneaky level.
In fact, Blood Money seemed to scale things back in the size of the level.
Yeah, tighter focus. Think back to Contracts, and the walking distance across the map was huge, but they weren't very vertical.
No.
Whereas Blood Money has a lot more verticality in it. I think to the Heaven and Hell level, where you're up and down in a skyscraper, you go from basement to penthouse. It's not XY axis, it's Z axis increase. That's where they put their focus and made the maps. I was going to say easy to navigate, but then I think to the hotel and the Sheikh assassination, where you can just get lost in the corridors because they all look the same.
Lovely sniping opportunity as well there, and that really shows off the verticality.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. You might not be able to find your way around the corridors, but you can see all the way down to the lobby or the back door. But yeah, Contracts was great. Silent Assassin, first one I played, fantastic game. It was the open options on how you complete the levels that sold me on that. I got it on a demo disc with official PlayStation magazine, now sadly defunct, but it came on a demo disc for maybe 3 or 4 weeks before it came out, and that might be the only game I played for the 3 or 4 weeks. Loved it from the demo, bought the game on release, still love it now, still hate the Japanese levels because they're particularly badly done. They do not age well on those ones. But the entire game itself was fantastic, with the best levels ever in Kuala Lumpur in the Petronas Towers.
Oh yeah,
the basement killing, that is my favourite of all time. I would take an
Contract.
I thought it was Silent Assassin.
We can dress up as the fireman.
It might actually be contracts. I might confuse the games. It's the trouble with the last time I played them all in sequence all the way through. So it blended into one long, massive game, which isn't a bad thing.
So what do you want from the new Hitman game?
What we've already said. I want an open, free reign experience. That if I mess something up, I'm not immediately kicked out or massacred, or you put the entire thing into lockdown and you're stuck. Flexibility, whether it's in the approach or whether it's just in the gameplay style. I want it to work like Absolution in terms of the mechanics, but with the openness and thoughtful level design for approach that Blood Money gave us.
Yeah, I want to be able to contain a situation if it goes horribly wrong.
Yes.
But not be boxed in. Yeah.
Not down a specific route. I want the stealth element, but without the enforced stealth.
Yeah.
I want the option to be stealthy, not being made to be stealthy.
I'm with you. So it's coming in December.
1st of December.
1st or the 8th?
1st. Or 8th. Again, so badly prepared this afternoon now.
We really didn't research
well,
this.
We've got a good excuse.
Do you want to Google it?
Keep talking.
Okay.
I'll find out.
It's coming in December.
I've got the press release.
Possibly the 8th. And we think it's going to be delivered via episodic content.
I'm pretty sure
this is our
that's
suspicion.
Well, that's what they've said, isn't it?
So, is the betas coming on the PlayStation for pre-orders?
Yes.
Are we thinking it's going to be one level, a demo?
My thoughts, and I'll not go into massive detail in this podcast, but every single beat is just a glorified demo. And I'm not complaining because I want this one more than any other glorified demo I've ever had.
I want it now.
But I think that's what it will be. I think the beta aspect will be to test the social elements, whatever those are going to be. That's the interesting question, really.
So I see on your show prep you have actually written down multiplayer ?
Yes, because they've touched on it in the trailer that it's an expansion of what was in Absolution.
So the contracts mode.
And that contracts mode in Absolution was actually very good. It's just it only really worked with maybe 2 levels.
Yeah.
Which was the intro level, which was the tutorial, where we spent many hours throwing knives at chefs.
I think there was a whole thing of, can we get an axe and throw it at this guy?
Yes, and it turns out yes you can.
Yeah.
And then there was the Chinatown level because it had such scope for different targets. Because it was on a par with the, I'm going to say Feast of Crows, and no, that's just me confusing it with Game of Thrones. Murder of Crows.
Yeah.
In Blood Money with the sheer crowds, and you've been able to pick and target who you wanted to. And we did spend a lot of time on that. So from a multiplayer perspective, I think that's what it'll be, an enhanced, expanded version of that mode.
I like that, and I also like the idea of the asynchronous multiplayer.
Yeah, it's easier to deal with, isn't it?
The opportunity to play it yourself, get really good at one particular thing, and then challenge your friend to it with them having no idea. The only thing I will say with the contracts mode in Absolution was it could be a bit leading sometimes. So you'd be like, okay, you've got to kill so and so with such and such. And it was sometimes a bit obvious how you should do that or the quickest way to do that. And I'd like to see more variety, more options, and perhaps a way of just hiding people's loadout and bringing the loadout into play. Maybe
I see what you mean. So you're not driven down the butcher's knife to the back of the neck kind of route. You are given a target. And you are scored based on not just how quiet you are and how quick you do it, but the methods that you use.
Yeah.
And by not letting your opponents know those methods, it's that strive to find the best way of doing it and the most efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly even bring in it. In previous games you could collect the weapons in levels, and it was the weapons you collected in levels that you could access in your loadout.
Yes.
Maybe bringing that into it. The weapons that you collect in the single player game become the tools available to you in the contracts mode.
That was a nice collectibles addition in some of the games. Is what weapons you took out were ones you put in your inventory. You got to store in your shed.
Because that was in Blood Money. That was a huge replay incentive for me, was to go back and think, okay, so like Murder of Crows, how am I going to walk out with this? I can get the handgun, I can get the submachine guns because I can secrete those about my person. How am I going to get out with this massive rifle past all these cops and all these people without, because I can't put this in a case.
It's like Contracts and the final Leon-esque mission in Paris. How do I collect that Gatling gun?
Yeah.
And walk through the massive crowd of people and police with a Gatling gun?
I think you know the answer.
Yes. It involves slaughter. It's not pretty. But then I had a Gatling gun in my collection. Yeah, I want that. I'm not too bothered about picking up tons of collectibles in levels. I like the idea that things that you take with you, you can then reuse in the future. And it does add a tactical element to it, particularly if it's outfit specific, and you still have to attain, not necessarily a silent assassin rating for getting it out of there, but you obviously don't want to trigger every single alert and get killed before you make it out of the building or out of the area.
Because that would be the nice thing about, okay, so Matt's gone to great effort to collect this really hard to get weapon, and he's used it in this contract. So not only if I want to beat him, do I have to take this guy down quickly, discreetly, not break character, but how do I have to go and get that weapon first if I want to get the particular bonus points for using
stick it in as a bonus scheme. Yeah. You can still complete the contract, but it's a bonus for using the same method. If
I find another more interesting and exciting way, I could even beat you. But actually, if I'm going to do my best, I need to go and match your skills in the single player.
It brings up another thing that I want to see in definitely the single player: accidents. I want to see accidents return.
Yeah. That's half the fun of it, was setting something up and just walking away either to another target or even to the edge of the map and waiting for that little tick to appear.
Let you know it's happened.
Yeah, the sidebar to pop up and show you what's happened.
Yeah, that picture-in-picture, because it's quite jarring in Blood Money playing it now. But I think that's because we're used to higher resolutions and other bits and pieces that make a more subtle user interface. But it's brilliant for knowing when your targets are in position.
Yeah.
Rather than constantly flicking to a map which is just grey boxes with coloured circles on it.
Yeah.
Which is brilliantly useful, but it's not as nice as actually seeing it happen.
Yeah.
And that's the point. If you're setting up an accident, you want to see your work, and sometimes you don't always have that option, because if you're anywhere near it, you're going to get caught out and your disguise blown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see accidents back, but I want to see them a little bit more elaborate. Almost mousetrap style would be really cool. Now there's an idea for a multiplayer mode. The most elaborate accident, chaining pieces together. Maybe Final Destination. Anyway, maybe that's a different game.
I love that. Mousetrap murder.
Yeah. Be a game mode.
You should copyright that.
That'd be belting. I would really enjoy that. I'm also looking forward to seeing what they're calling the live world. That idea that you're only going to get targets specifically for a period. It might only be a day or 2 days. Everybody has an opportunity to take that target down, but once they're gone, they're gone.
If you were trying to do something like that the first time you'd ever played a particular map or a particular level, I can see it being an absolute monstrosity.
Yeah.
But doing it in a level that you know intimately, you know where all the accidents can be created, you know where the vantage points are, I think that could be a really interesting dynamic. But it sounds a bit like contracts mode in a way.
That's the only thing it's not clear. Is it just an exclusive contract? I imagine there will be an app that joins the game that will notify you. You better get on this weekend and find Mr. Smith.
Oh, how awesome would that be? To get a notification from your phone, go into the app, and then have Diana read you a briefing saying, Mr. So-and-so is going to be at such and such this weekend at 3 p.m.
I like that idea.
He's only going to be there for 8 hours 47.
Yes. Is it going to have a day-night cycle?
I know, that's an interesting...
I quite like a day-night cycle, but I don't know if the game lends itself to it, because it's not open world
Well, what about doing it in the same way that Ground Zeroes has, in that the missions can be at night or in the daytime.
And you choose.
Well, not necessarily that you choose. Whoever creates it chooses.
Says this is a
Yeah.
morning one. I mean, you take what we've seen from the teaser footage. So I'm thinking that catwalk show probably going to be an evening nighttime event. But yeah, what if you have got other things which are you can specify?
Could bring some really interesting mechanics into it. So, for example, in a really crowded place, that's got lots going on in the daytime, the guards could be a bit more relaxed because there's people milling about, and it's another ordinary day. But at night, they might be a bit more alert to sounds and things.
More alert to sounds, but less of them.
Yeah. Whereas in some places, that are perhaps more well guarded, in the daytime, they might be a bit more observant. Could actually mix up the way levels work.
Yeah, I like that idea. I like it adds that additional variation because I don't know how many maps we're going to get. We know it's going to be released episodically. It's digital release only to begin with.
Yeah,
I'm imagining for the 6 months it takes them to release everything, then you'll get a disc one with all the content. I'll come back to the other points, but I like the fact that it's a one-off fee. It's not a episodic pay you DLC.
Yeah.
No, this is it. One payment. So you get the entire game just as and when they release it. And I like that idea for the fact that it will make me play the game over 6 months.
I do, and we've both pre-ordered. The only thing is, I wish there was a bit more information about what was coming, how much was coming.
Yeah, it's more the timescales. If it's every 2 weeks a new contract or a new map or a variation on the map taking in that idea, so maybe you'll do a mission in the daytime and then a week later they actually release the night variant, which is where I like the idea of having the different times of day and mixing it up. Maybe if you did something like that, but then major releases every 2 to 3 weeks. I think if you go monthly, you kind of lose interest a little bit. I know I probably won't with this game, given history.
Yeah.
But I can see a lot of users not enjoying that.
I think they're going to go down the XP route for unlocking upgrades and other weapons. So I think that's where a lot of the replay value for
You're getting yourself prepped for the next.
Thinking, do you know what? I'm going to try and do these challenges or these specific things so that I can unlock a particular weapon.
Yeah.
Which kind of flies contrary to what we were hoping for in the on-site procurement.
Yeah, it does. The XP method does, but maybe it's XP towards upgrades rather than actually unlocks. You take the weapons out, but you upgrade.
Sedating me.
You can,
the other way around.
You can choose. Who knows?
Yeah, that's it. We've no idea on that one.
Yeah.
But the content release schedule is going to be massively important. You take something like I'm going to take the Telltale games. Their 6 to 8 week window isn't doing anything for me.
Okay, 6 to 8 weeks would probably be too long, but I think you get a lot more play out of this than you would one episode of a Telltale game, because they're great, they're well crafted, but it's a 2-hour experience.
Yeah. But it's the timing between. It's not just the timing. We've got to apologise if there's noise being picked up as some people having an argument outside the window. But completely lost train of thought. Yeah, the 6 to 8 weeks gap. It's not about the replay value. It's about the fact you don't know if it's 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 9 weeks or 10 weeks. You don't know what's coming, and you kind of. I love the Game of Thrones series. I am beginning to get bored of the game because I don't know what's coming next. And when the next episode arrives, because it's usually only announced a few days before it actually comes out, I'm not on the edge of my seat going, oh yeah, I want to play that. I'm sort of thinking, well, I'll get to it because I know I've got about 2 months before the next thing comes up.
Do you know, I go with that completely, because when I played the Walking Dead game, it had been out for some time and the entire thing was available, and I pretty much played it across the course of 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
But Tales from the Borderlands, I've watched 2 episodes and there may be a third out.
It is
now.
It's already out.
But I've not bothered to check or download it yet because I've kind of Kind of forgotten about it.
Yeah. So as long as they're clear on what's coming, and as long as there's a structured schedule and everybody's aware of it, then I think that works. And you can live with the time as long as it's not too long, as long as it's not something every 3 months, because that's just crazy. But they've been working on this for how long? It'll be at least 2 years, probably, since Absolution, because didn't Square say they'd put development out to a second studio at the time Absolution was released, because the original idea was meant to have a yearly iteration? But I have a suspicion they will have kicked this one off 3 to 4 years ago, especially after the feedback on Absolution.
I'm guessing as well that, you know, when you look at the contracts mode, I bet they took a lot of data from contracts mode, which showed exactly how few of the game's missions were being used in that mode.
But they had a lot of contracts players.
Yeah,
there were an awful lot of millions of players. But yes, that'll tell you
they're all
which was
playing
popular.
2 or 3 levels.
Yes, yeah, that's what it'll be. The tutorial in Chinatown.
Yeah.
So yeah, release schedule and timing is important. I'm not bothered about being a digital release. It's, you know, it's the way we seem to be going at the moment, and I'm picking up digital releases more and more rather than actual physical ones, especially when they're the same price.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's no point of going either way.
Sorry, just my other neighbour put his bottles out at the same time as Sierra Yankee 99 flew over the house, so that was I don't know what that's going to sound like.
Maybe we should have shut the windows.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good point to perhaps draw a line under this.
Yeah, it is. It's a good point. It's a good time.
And I think we'll just, you know, we'll keep posted. We'll if we find out any more information, we'll try and post some of that.
Yeah, we'll make sure it's correct, not just random speculation.
Did you find the date?
It is the 8th of December. As my wishful thinking that it would be earlier. It's not. 8th of December.
Anyway, thank you very much for listening to our Thought Shower. We will be back soon, we promise.
Well, we said that last time, it was about 8 months ago.
True.
We will try and be a little bit quicker with some of these. The website is still up and running. Head there for reviews. Probably less so in terms of opinion at this point in time, but keep on the YouTube channel, because we are putting up more gameplay footage when we can. And now we have discovered the joys of video capture and audio dubbing. There may be more.
Codecmoments.com. Give us a shout out to the YouTube.
YouTube.com/Codec Moments.
Awesome.
It's easy to remember. Just remember Codec Moments. It's everywhere. Google us. We're the number one Codec Moments website on the internet.
Or Twitter us
at Codec Moments.
Fabulous. That'll do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.